Imagine a nation on the precipice of becoming a regional superpower, a playground for the global elite, a hub of oil wealth and burgeoning modernity. Its cities glittered with Western influence. Its monarch, the Shah, was a close ally of the world's most powerful nations, presenting an image of unstoppable progress. Young Iranians danced to disco, women embraced professional careers, and the future seemed etched in a glorious secular vision. This was Iran in 1978. But beneath the veneer of prosperity, a seismic tremor was building, a silent, simmering fury that the world, and indeed the Shah himself, catastrophically underestimated. What if the most powerful forces aren't armies or economies, but the unspoken anxieties of a people, channeled by a voice from exile? In a blink, the dazzling lights of westernization would be extinguished, replaced by the stark, unyielding silhouette of a new ideology. How could a nation so seemingly robust, so strategically vital, pivot so violently, so completely, from the future it was building? This isn't just history. It's a chilling reminder that the ground beneath us is rarely as solid as it seems.
To understand the cataclysm of 1979, we must first journey back decades into the opulent but increasingly isolated world of the Pahlavi dynasty. Mohammad Reza Shah, ascending the peacock throne in 1941, inherited a nation steeped in ancient tradition but hungry for modern power. Fueled by vast oil reserves and unwavering American support, he launched the White Revolution, a sweeping program of land reform, literacy, and industrialization designed to catapult Iran into the 20th century. He built universities, hospitals, and factories, championing women's rights and a secular government, fundamentally reshaping Iranian society, yet this rapid modernization came at a brutal cost. The Shah's authoritarian grip tightened, enforced by the notoriously brutal secret police, SAVAK. Political dissent was crushed. As economic wealth concentrated in the hands of a few, traditional religious institutions felt increasingly marginalized, even attacked. To the working class and rural populations, their cultural identity was actively eroding under what they perceived as a decadent foreign influence. From exile, an aging cleric named Ayatollah Khomeini began to articulate this deep-seated resentment, speaking of justice, dignity, and an Islamic alternative via smuggled cassettes. Yet, while social alienation and economic hardship provided the volatile fuel, the ultimate catalyst of the 1979 revolution was the lingering trauma of the 1953 US and UK-backed coup. By actively strangling Iran's democracy decades earlier to impose a Western puppet, foreign intervention guaranteed that the modern uprising would be both absolute and deeply anti-Western. By 1978, the simmering discontent had reached a boiling point. What began as scattered demonstrations soon morphed into a nationwide storm. The Shah, torn between violent repression and appeasement, made fatal missteps. His attempts to crack down only fueled the fire, turning martyrs into symbols. The Black Friday massacre in September, where soldiers fired on unarmed protesters in Jaleh Square, became a definitive turning point, shattering any remaining illusions of a peaceful resolution and obliterating the Shah's moral authority. The streets of Tehran and other major cities filled with millions chanting not for reform but for revolution, for the return of Khomeini. The aftershocks of the 1979 Iranian Revolution reverberated instantly and continue to shape our world today. Iran, once a secular monarchy, was swiftly remade into an Islamic republic, fundamentally altering its internal structure and its relationship with the global community. The immediate fallout included the infamous U.S. Embassy hostage crisis, a 444-day standoff that redefined international diplomacy and cemented a deep, enduring animosity between Tehran and Washington. Domestically, the revolution brought dramatic social changes: the imposition of Islamic law, a curtailment of women's rights previously enjoyed under the Shah, and the consolidation of power within the hands of the clergy, profoundly reshaping everyday life. Globally, the revolution was a watershed moment that inspired similar movements of political Islam across the Middle East, challenging the established order and Western dominance by proving that a powerful, well-armed state could be overthrown not by another state, but by a popular, religiously motivated uprising. While academics and policymakers still debate the compounding factors, the Shah's overreach and brutal repression, the mobilizing power of religious ideology in times of great uncertainty, and the severe economic disparities, there is no question that the ultimate catalyst was the lingering trauma of the 1953 US and UK-backed coup. The legacy is a complex one, a nation forever changed, and a global reminder that political landscapes are never static, always susceptible to the powerful forces of collective will and spiritual conviction. Yet the ultimate irony remains that Mohammad Mossadegh's government was fundamentally secular, led by a dedicated secular nationalist who believed in constitutional democracy, the rule of law, and a strict separation of mosque and state, leaving the world to wonder, where would we be today if the Iranian people had simply been allowed their self-determination? The 1979 Iranian Revolution stands as a monument to the unexpected, a stark historical pivot that defied conventional wisdom and redefined the geopolitical map. It's a story of a people finding their voice, a government misreading the signs, and a religious leader reshaping destiny. More than just an event, it was a profound transformation, leaving an indelible mark on Iran and casting a long shadow over the modern world, a testament to the unpredictable nature of power and belief